Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, after the night. I heard the whispering voice in my ear. I no longer dared to sleep alone. All the lights in the house were on all night, but fear still crept into every dark corner of my mind. Even though I had carefully hidden the doll in a locked cabinet, taped it, and placed heavy rocks on top, the feeling of being watched did not disappear. I gradually fell into a state of panic, lack of sleep, and prolonged stress. One morning, while watering the plants in the backyard, I happened to meet an elderly neighbor named Agnes. She had lived in the house across the street for nearly 40 years. Seeing me looking exhausted, she asked me a few questions. At first, I just laughed it off, but then, as if I could not bear it any longer, I briefly recounted the story of the old doll that kept appearing even though I had carefully hidden it. After hearing this, Agnes's expression changed completely. Her eyes darkened and her hands trembled as she gripped the handle of her cane. She told me to come into her house for tea. Agnes's house was filled with old black and white photo frames. The smell of rotten wood and herbs mixed together into a strange fragrance. She poured tea, then told me a story that sent a chill down my spine. 30 years ago, the house I was living in belonged to a family of 3, a mother, father, and a little girl named Emily. According to Agnes, Emily was a very good, gentle, but seemingly sad child, always holding a doll that looked exactly like the one I owned. She almost never left the doll, even when she slept. Neighbors had seen her standing silently at the second-floor window, holding the doll and looking out at the street for hours. One winter night, the whole neighborhood was awakened by a terrifying scream coming from that house. When the neighbors ran over, the door was locked from the inside. The police broke down the door and found Emily's parents dead in bed with deep cuts to their throats, and the little girl had disappeared without a trace. The bedroom was left with only a bloodstain, and the doll lying silently on the floor. The case was later closed for lack of evidence, and Emily's body was never found. The house was abandoned for nearly 10 years before it was put up for sale. My heart sank. The name Emily, the doll, and the dream of the girl who wasn't in the white room, all of it seemed to fit together. I asked Agnes if she had any pictures of the family. She nodded and rummaged through a drawer and handed me an old, yellowed photograph. It showed a little girl about 8 years old holding a doll with a crack on its face, the exact same doll I was holding. Behind her was a woman I recognized immediately, doll seller at a flea market. I was pulled into a whirlpool of truth. If the old woman was Emily's mother, why would she sell the doll? Or was she also trying to shake off some cursed memory? I called the phone number printed on the business card I had gotten when I bought the doll, but it was a number. I didn't go home that night. One rented a room near the city center and stayed there for the night. But the nightmares followed me. In my dream, I saw Emily standing in front of the room, knocking on the door repeatedly. When I opened the door, she raised her head. Her black eyes were empty and a trail of blood ran down her forehead and neck. She held the doll out to me and whispered, "My parents can't sleep. They miss me." I woke up, drenched in sweat, my heart pounding. I called a taxi home that night. As soon as I entered, I smelled a familiar scent, the scent of tea in Agnes's house. I went upstairs. On the bed, the doll was back. Her porcelain eyes were shining in the darkness. I knew I couldn't run away anymore. Every time I leave, it comes back. It's like I've accidentally opened a portal between two worlds, and Emily is still waiting for someone to take her home. Please watch episode 4, Night Camera and the Second Shadow.